Oh, can you guys hear me? I can't hear you. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, there. Now I can hear. Sorry, I had all you guys on mute. Okay, got it. Now I can hear. I'm like, what am I doing here? Cool. Got that running. Thank you. Thank you. Cool, cool, cool. All right, let me see. What do we need to do? We got recording, we got screen, we got webcam, microphone. We need Avinachi levels, right? Oops. Oh, no, not again. Look at that. These levels are so tight. What the hell? I told you guys yesterday, the summer, the 80-20 of trading in the summer is not to show up. Oh, man. Again, there's ways to manipulate trades within tight spaces, but it's too dangerous. It's just, I'd rather not. What do you got? Some in the announcement. Oh, yeah, there's two announcements. We'll do it after we trade the open a little. How about that? Yeah. Because it's going to get distracting. So let's see. We got that. Let's look at the news. There's nothing on the calendar until 1 p.m. Bowman speech. Yeah, there's nothing on the calendar. All right, nothing to worry
My
about.
top contenders of the Avenatti levels today are Hood, Microsoft, and Tesla.
Right, Hood. Yep, you got space on it. Microsoft. Yes, you've got room to make money. And let's see, Tesla. Yes, all of them make sense. Tesla's a little tighter than usual, but it's all right. Cool. This works. This works. You know what? The air conditioning is way too cold in here. I'll be back in a minute, guys. Go sort that out. All right. That's turn into a snowman or something.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Go ahead and get my
Mic is working. You guys hear me? No?
Super loud.
Oh, it's loud. The gain went high. Don't know why. Better now?
Yep.
Yes.
A little bit better, yeah. That's a little quiet.
Sorry, guys. Oh, man. Tech stuff, huh? All right. Let's see. What do we need to do now? I don't see anything that I need to pay attention to. All right, guys, let me know what's on your minds. We have about 7 or 8 minutes to the open, and we can go through whatever's on your minds. I don't want to do anything except look at the sunset. So, nothing for now. All right. That. Cool. All right. Just having a little trouble getting some people situated in here. Let me get that sorted out. Oh. I'm just working out one or two little things here in the back end, guys. Let me know if you have any questions before the open. Otherwise, I'm just doing this. What the hell? All right, that should work. Cool. All right, what should we look at as we approach the open? We had Tesla, Hood, and Microsoft. Even Hood is a little tight. The 1 minute chart looks tight. On 30, it looks okay. But also, this is the kind of thing that has to be in play. It's got to be some catalyst or something. Otherwise, it's going to be messy. All right. Yesterday, I feel like we went through a lot of tickers during the open. Kept bouncing around. Today, you guys are very unexcited, huh? What's going on with NVIDIA? Anyone knows anything? It's just been climbing since the pre-market.
It bounced off the gap up day last week. The news, it bounced off that. Right there. Yeah.
Yes. That area. And that was, okay, the news made a gap. So it's at the bottom of support.
Yeah.
Off the bottom. So the news made a gap, and you can see the consolidation in this zone. It's pretty well defined now. You have the top up here and the bottom basically here on a daily perspective. This is a perfect setup for selling an iron condor options trading. You can do it today, expire by Friday, probably make some money on that. But again, I don't typically do these things anymore. It's not so capital efficient. But you have perfectly well-defined support resistance. So that's useful. Yeah, right about there. Cool. There you go. Something to look at today. There you go, Adrian. Yep, that's NVIDIA. 171.50. What's at 171.50? Smaller range. Yes, got a smaller range here on NVIDIA. Broke out. So basically you have, let's put a line there. Yeah, so within the large range, you can break it into two. You have this upper range and the lower range. So I think there's going to be some opportunity here if you believe in finding levels this way. Basically 169 to 171, and then you have 171.50 up to 174. There you go. Adrian, yes. Avi believers only around here. Thank you. Nah. There are a million ways to trade. Okay, so once again, yeah, the SPY is a disaster. There's no room to make money on that thing. So again, I will not be trading today. Wow. I should focus on swing trading during the summer. Joseph, yes, announcements a little bit after the open. Let's get through the open. It'll get too distracting if we just start talking about stuff. So maybe 30 minutes in, if things are slow, we can start talking other stuff. Please be sure to remind me. I'll forget. Daniel, you want to know how to draw them? Draw what? Avi levels. We'll get into that too. Yes, yeah, I know you're new here. Welcome. We'll get into that too a little bit after the open, okay? Yeah, no worries. All right, market's about to open here, guys. About 10 seconds. You guys know the drill. It's a gold mine. Wait for your setups. If it's not there, don't touch it. And if it's not there today, come back tomorrow. Tesla is interesting. Curious about the breakout of the pre-market high 330.1. That could be an interesting breakout if that happens. NVIDIA resistance, of course. Microsoft not convincing to me. The levels look okay, but not great. You can see it's already it's not worth it. Oh, Tesla, keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on that. It's making a very wide range. That breakout was tempting above 330-ish, but buyers are not sustaining for now.
Wow, Apple, look at that.
Apple. You've been all over Apple lately, huh?
Yeah, straight down. I thought it's gonna break out today.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, my charts aren't working. There it is. Straight to the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Let's avoid all these Avi levels today, just because there's no room on them. But let's see. If we're looking at Apple, we're looking at levels on a 30-minute chart. Yeah, you have this high over here, approximately where it is now. I'd actually like to bring that in a bit lower. It's tricky because you have this resistance. Look at that. And breakout bounce. This is more convincing. This 212 zone. If Apple gets down there, you have something. Also, obviously, you have this high on this day, which is cool. I mean, it's okay. It's not something I truly trust. But let's put it there. It's a troublesome zone. So far, it's bounced. You've obviously got yesterday's high. That's way up there. Look at that. Apple lost everything it gained in the morning yesterday. Everything. What the hell? So if you catch Apple long, bounce off of the open here around 212, 212.40 or so, you have the pre-market resistance, but I think what's more significant is middle of the day yesterday, around 213.80 or so, right about there, where it dropped and it just held there, and that was the top of the reverse ABCD. Let's call it 213.80, right about in that zone, or 213.70-ish, makes more sense, 75. That's the zone that it's in right now. So you have support and you know where the resistance is or likely to be. Keep an eye on that. If you're getting into all this stuff. Again, this is all scalping stuff. Same old story. Same thing that we do all summer, just scalping. Nobody has anything exotic today? No? We had Hood, what, PLTR, Shop, any of that stuff?
NVIDIA is just dropping also. Everything, huh?
Oh, yes, NVIDIA. Look at that. That could be more interesting to look at. Yes, straight down to that level where it bounced off of on the daily chart, or basically on the daily right there. We were identifying this. So that's your support zone. That's a very convincing area of support. If you have a setup down there for a long, basically at this point, a reversal almost, that could be fun. There you go, breakthrough.
Yeah, there's nothing there. There's volume is really high too on the way down.
Let's see when these buyers come. They're going to be in this zone. It's definitely, I don't believe it's going to drop straight through this zone quickly. It's going to run into trouble over here. Well, let's see. I anticipate the buyers are sitting there somewhere. We'll keep an eye on that. See what happens. Savan, you're looking at Amazon. Okay, let's look at Amazon. Oh, Tesla. Okay, real quick, before we go to Amazon, we have something very, very important to do on Tesla. Anyone know what the question is before I ask it?
Why did it bounce off that line?
Yes, thank you so much for the question. Now, who has the answer?
Come on,
Why
guys.
is it- Come on, someone else, not this.
Because it was scared.
I was scared.
What was that? Oh my god! Wow.
proper entertainment. I love it. Yes, it got scared off of the burgundy line because it's burgundy. Yes, there you go, guys. Avi level, right? That's why it bounced off. Oh man. Okay, we got that out of the way for the day. We have to do it once a day. We're good. It's a ritual thing. All right, Amazon. What do we have? Nothing to work with here again. What's happening on the 1 minute? Messy, but again, you can identify that opening range, right? So let's see if we can do that on this one. We've been doing this all week. The bottom is there, the top is up there. And let's see if this is the range, the opening range that gets respected. Ideally, a consolidation right below it, and then a good breakthrough 230 and going upwards. It's a big range. The opening range is quite wide on Amazon. So that could be interesting. Could be a good setup. There you go. NVIDIA as well, finding those buyers as expected in that zone. Apple as well in that zone as expected on the 30-minute. We found that was support. It was that big high of day on that day a few days ago, last week. So there you go. You're getting some things in some interesting places. Apple and NVIDIA. Amazon may set up. I'm going to put Tesla on my other chart just to keep an eye on it. Ooh, but that's not interesting, is it? You have this big reverse hammer here. I wouldn't think of NVIDIA as a long. If anything, actually a short. Let's see if this is a good setup for a short. I think it is. Yeah, the short. There it is. There's a new low. Entry was the low, new 1 minute low after that reverse hammer. That reverse hammer just gave it away. Again, if I see this on a 30-minute chart, this is where I go in heavy. So it's going in one direction. Consolidation. During a consolidation, getting a big reverse hammer, the perfect one. Then the new low is the entry with a stop above it. And you hold for the next target down. But again, that's the 30-minute chart. Let's see what this 1 minute thing does. Apple's really messy. Even if you catch it, it's very hard to trade, huh? Very, very hard. Yeah, NVIDIA is very tricky. I wouldn't go long here. If anything, I'd think about a short. Well, I would have entered the short earlier. But at this point now, it's all over the place. If you're in one direction, stay there. Don't go chopping yourself up. It's getting really messy in here. I'll show you another example, guys. Look at the SPY. Now the SPY, I'm not touching it because you guys know I only trade the SPY, but I'm not touching it today because the levels are too small, too tight to make a profit. But you can still see how it respects the levels perfectly. And there's just not enough room for profit unless you start manipulating the options. Let's say for some reason down here I get the idea to go long, take an out of the money contract. The next one would be 629. So let's see if I got into that, what that could look like. And there we go. So the entry would be here at about 70 cents, let's say, for example. You're going up through the level, it would have gotten up to 85 cents. It's a tiny little profit. Even going out of the money like this, where you're manipulating the contract, basically, you're still not making a lot of room. And then just get back to the opening high makes sense, but you're skipping a level, which is, again, very difficult to do, very tricky. But we've seen this all summer so far. We've had tight levels, but the price just skips them. So maybe that's something to think about. We actually have quite a lot of information on that, back testing and all, as in the last 1 month or so. There goes SPY right back to its high. Take a look. Is that the fallen angel? No, it's not. It didn't gap up. It just opened where it closed. The SPY rarely gaps anyway. So there you go. Anyways, that ORB to the upside on the SPY, if you guys are interested, that is setting up. Be careful on it, though. Wait for a consolidation before the breakout. Same with Amazon. Almost the same setup. There, it's above
Apple
the
bounced back really hard.
Apple went. All right, let's look at that. Look at these two guys, SPY and Amazon. There may be something setting up there. Oh yes, Apple did it, huh? Same setup. All of them are fallen angels. Opening high. You don't have an entry on that at the opening high, that fallen angel, but down here you do if you catch that. Anyone catch that? You guys didn't? Gurinder, you into it? Caught it
Nope.
from the not your thing today. Yeah. Look at that SPY, man. Holy crap. This is something to explore. How do you skip levels? How do you know when or which? Something to think about. I have enough data on it. I should go and look at it and see if it makes any sense. So that short on NVIDIA is beginning to make sense. So again, if I was trading the 1 minute chart, short here, stop up there somewhere, and then tighten it up now after it printed another new low, and you're in this continuation of the short. Where is the target? Let's see. Well, you just go into there. You have that high on this day. Well, I'd say that's more of a de-risking place than a genuine target. Where you have support is down here. It's 166. If you look at it, this was the last time it found buyers. It dropped and then dropped. It closed down there, and it just gapped up. So the candlesticks are telling you this level 166 is really cool because you can see it was resistance. It set up a good breakdown, and sorry, it was support. It set up a good breakdown, and then it turned into resistance, and then a gap up. Interesting. So as you get to this 167.86 area, I'd say that's a de-risking place, and then 166 is a big target.
Oh, I'm having a...
In that? No?
Oh, yeah. I added like 8 tons in it.
Oh, gosh. Okay. You're like Mark now, man.
I'm Mark today.
Mark, tell him what to do.
You see the roof? Don't touch it.
Yeah, but I'm out quite a bit at the bottom. So
Yeah.
Let's see. Squeeze me out. Like,
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a de-risking place, really. Take the risk off the table. It could easily bounce from there. You don't know. If you're still in it after that, if it goes, great. But that's a tricky zone.
yeah, out of like 80% of the 117 or 167.80, I got up big time. So, yeah.
Good. Smart trading. And look at that SPY. Bounced off one level, skipped one, and hit the next. This is what I was just talking about, guys. The skipping levels, there's a time and place to do it. I just haven't nailed down a trade book or a rule book to do it. That might be the project for the summer. Already halfway through the summer. Figure that out. And there you go. Apple, sure enough, hit that line we got on the top. Where did we get that from? Oh, yes. Yesterday's troublesome zone right there. Resistance. Sure enough, that was the target. So you have that big range. Not too complicated, huh? It was very tricky, I think, Apple, but what gave it away, looking at it in hindsight, is these higher lows. I still don't see a genuine entry on it where I would have possibly entered, but the higher lows gives it, you get a lot of confidence that the buyers are stepping up. And you know there's resistance up there. You know, Tesla is actually interesting. Now, it's a great big disaster as far as the candle price action, but look at this wick down here. This hammer. What does that tell us? Let's zoom out a bit. What do we have here?
That's yesterday's low, the wick.
Yes, exactly. Makes sense. Yesterday's low pretty much aligned with an Fibonacci level. In just looking at it on a 1 minute perspective, this has room to the left over there, and the buyer stepped it up right there. So just in a very, very isolated headspace, you could think there's a long, if it makes a new 1 minute high with a stop below it, and whatever happens in between, don't touch it. Just leave it alone. Put it on a bigger time frame. Don't look at it if you're entering stuff like this. This is very difficult to trade. But the overall conviction is that it's going to move upwards because of that buyer down there at 936 with room to the left, and it refused to be there. I mean, that's exactly the kind of candle pattern you look for when you're trading naked candlesticks. Again, not something to touch, but you can see those elements, right? Hammer, room to the left. It's right there. Very interesting. Let's switch back to NVIDIA because it's interesting here. You can see it hit that level. That's an area of trouble. We know there's it's going to be trouble there, but for now, all it's telling us is that the down move has stopped. It's not telling us that the buyers are truly taking this upwards. Actually, it's hitting itself on that level more and more. The more it does that, the more conviction you have it's likely to break down through it. I wouldn't enter long anywhere here. No way. Overall, I'd still think short, but it's going to have to rest and give us some confirmation later.
What was your reason for the 167.86 there, Avi? That level? How did you find that level? The green line, bottom one?
Just looking at the 30-minute chart, zooming back as you break down, that's where it was a high on this particular day, the 11th of July. Now, that was a high, so that was resistance. It hasn't proven to be support until today so far, which is just a 1-minute perspective, right? It's really small. So it could easily, my anticipation is it's troublesome here and then break down. That's what I'm thinking.
Let's see.
Let's
Copy
see.
that.
Yeah, oh, there you go. It printed a new low just now. There you go. That's convincing. It's telling you it may be ready to go. Keep an eye. Keep a close eye on that. Tesla also printed a new high. Again, all very difficult price action to manage positions, but at levels, you can see how they behave. There you go. That's that breakdown. It looks like it's happening.
AMD looked like it did a similar move.
AMD as well. Okay, let's look at it. There you go, guys. NVIDIA, not too bad. AMD, yes, very similar. Similar price action on a 1 minute. Let's see what we find on AMD. Oh man, tight levels again. Forget it. All right. So AMD, well, right where it is now, I'm seeing a lot of support. You can just look at this support area, right? Bounce, bounce, bounce. Very firm. Further up, earlier, you have pre-market low, which is pretty dramatic. It broke through. What else do we have? Anything worth looking at? And nothing really. Let's further up. All right, this thing's breaking down, it looks like. So let's look further down. Where do we have support? Look at this candle right here. This is just one candle, but this is really dramatic. You can see where AMD pushed up and then found new buyers right here, 152.11. It's almost there now. This is a place to be careful of. If it's going further down from there, well, you have the gap. The gap is the next really the big area. And I'm looking at this level as support, this gap level, not as anything else. So when I put lines on, I try to identify it before the price even gets there. What is it likely to be? Again, that's the whole thing of not fractal patterns. What was that called, that strategy that I used? Oh my God, I've totally forgotten. Traumatic levels. There you go. Using traumatic levels. Yeah, fractal patterns with traumatic levels is what I used to use. But these levels are specifically known as traumatic levels. So anyways, let's keep an eye on this. This is good. There you go. It got close. Again, AMD put in this reverse hammer here. That would have been convincing for the continued move down. Put in another one here. That is interesting. To give you clues along with lower highs for that reverse ABCD. Wasn't even looking at it. It's pretty cool. Right there. So NVIDIA looks like it's on its way. And what would be healthy is that it goes in waves. We were talking about this yesterday on Google, right? It goes 2 or 3 candles, then relaxed, then 2 or 3 candles, relaxed. Just tiny little ABCD patterns on a 1 minute chart. That's healthy. That's sustainable. That way it'll actually go a long distance. And you can trust it, hold it for a while. We have Tesla here. The buyer's stepping up from 5 or 15 minutes ago. There you go. So interesting to look at. Cool. Fun stuff.
Caught a beautiful short on Hood at the break of the open range and the retest of that. It's working out.
Good, all right. Opening range. Is that lined here about 103.60?
Yeah, 103. I got in right at 103.50.
All right. Yeah, nice. That's your area. Good catch. Same thing. Opening range, breakout, retest. Off you go. Which also happens to align with Avinacci levels. Look at that. It's nice
Correct.
when it's aligned. These levels are not very useful today, but the opening range for sure. Let's look at that opening range stuff again. We have Hood. We'll identify the range. That's the top right there, the second candle. And I would have put probably the first candle as the bottom if I was looking at it earlier. And then this would have been a false break. You have that respect, and then there you go. And the target's down there, 101.50. Cool. It's already there. Nice. Very nice. You see that, guys? Trading really does not have to be complicated. I have only 2 indicators, candlesticks and levels. The rest is just a whole bunch of noise. Too much noise. Cool. Right. Oh, what else is there? No, the spy's no good. So look at this. What's interesting on the spy, even if I had distance on these levels, for example, let's say this one wasn't there, or even, and then this one. So we're skipping levels. On a 1 minute perspective, I still don't see a setup. It respected the levels perfectly, and it went long and short. I don't have a setup to go long here or short here. Here, perhaps I have a setup for a short, but even so, I'd prefer to wait for a retest because I do the 0 DTE stuff. And catching breakouts gets very, very complicated. So if it pulls back up and bounce or rejects again, that would be the entry. So really, again, if the levels were there today, still nothing. Not worth putting risk on. There you go, Hood, another new low. Still in it?
Yep, yep. I'm trying to target the next level, 99.20. I took out 50. I took out 50% though at this level at 101.50.
All right. Good, man. Manage that risk and then let it run.
Yeah.
What have I got here? Oh, that's okay. Different levels. Look at that. We got a big tank in the market right now in the last 1 minute, 2 minutes or so. A lot of things are crashing. We have Amazon as well, broke the opening range.
Oh, wow. Look at SP.
Yeah.
SPY, the way it came back down. Holy smokes.
Yep. And that would have been the breakout entry if you catch breakouts earlier. Yeah. But watch NVIDIA now, guys. NVIDIA is again now at a place where I believe we identified more support. Let's see. Is this yeah, so this is a place. 166 key zone on NVIDIA. People who like reversals will be looking at this, I think, for that reverse and then again go back up through the gap. But let's see. This is where you want to keep an eye on it. If you're in a short, this is your target. If you like reversals, you'd be looking to enter in this zone. But wait for it to behave well first. Hood, yes, keep going. Tesla is going right through levels. Let's do the opening range thing on Tesla. Okay, so that, see that, here's one thing. We were talking about Tesla earlier. You have the elements that would give you an indication for a long, but there is no long, truly. I mean, we know it went short, but it would never have been an entry because this is as good as a continuation pattern. So it has to have an ABCD eyes, and it went from down to up, consolidate, put in this kind of hammer, and then it didn't have any of that. Or it's a reversal pattern where it came from up to down and then did this, and it reverses the other way. It didn't have anything. It's just a choppy big zone. And then sure enough, it crashed out of that. So again, all those details should be in the rule book. You guys know this. It's all in this strategy stuff I've put out. But now let's identify Tesla's opening range and see what these targets look like. So at the top, the bottom would be, I'd say, about there. Yeah, that's a good solid range. Breakout, smashed right through one level. Wow. Who tweeted what? Someone tweeted something on Tesla. Elon Musk. Yeah, Gaten, go ahead.
Hi, Avi. This weekend I did some backtesting because I was also a bit struggling with the levels because they're so tight the last week or 2 weeks and it's boring hell, which is a good thing in general. But yeah, on the other hand, we're here to make money also in the summer sometimes. So I was doing some backtesting and I noticed that the pre-market high and low is, let's say, in 50, 60, maybe 70% of the time, the same as the normal 8 a.m. candle. So I'm not talking about the 8 a.m. candle of the last week or so, 2 weeks, but the normal 8 a.m. candle, if you look at the pre-market high and the low, it's more or less the same. So I was thinking that maybe we can use the Fibonacci or the Fibonacci levels on the pre-market high and low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see, those levels are interesting. The pre-market high and low are generally really good levels to use for day trading, because most of the time, most of the year, what you'll get is you get breakouts from there. They'll break out of the high and low. I haven't used the measured move concept on those levels because you can't just blindly put them there, because you got to make sure you're identifying a genuine range, as compared to the pre-market high and low could just be a trend. It started at one place, it ended at another place. It's just a trend. And that's pre-market high and low. That's not a range, it's a trend. Are you measuring a move off of a trend? That's not going to work.
Okay.
You want to have a clean range. Now, the 8 a.m. thing, it has a clean range. There's a good reason for it. It's all the market makers settling their orders, all that stuff. And they're basically showing their hands of where they want the price to go to today, or what levels or what kind of distances they're looking at today. So that's why it works. Okay. But again, nothing wrong with pre-market high and low. Think of those levels. I like to think of them more as breakouts. So again, scalps, if you're using them. And if you can identify a genuine range amongst them, sure, then use it. Then you can measure that distance and go. Just like we're measuring the opening ranges here. We've been doing this last few days. No big deal. You can do the same thing. And it may align with pre-market high and low. That's fine. I think that's useful.
Okay, thanks. I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for bringing that up.
No problem.
Yeah. All right.
Hot on Nvidia at 164.75. That was my exit.
Nice job, man. You're nailing these bottoms here.
Good,
man.
The range is ATR, like this ATR is $4 range from top to bottom, $7. I think that I got most of the juice. Might still go down, but I'm good.
Well, that's a massive move. You already caught it. Great job entering and then managing the risk and then holding for the rest. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, 166, guys. Now it's gonna get messy there. The buyers are a little below it, around 165, but really 166 is where you want to watch for a new entry on Nvidia. I would not go thinking about a short, not anymore. It may still go, but it's already made a big move. It's had the ATRs and all that. So wait and watch. Look at that. Tesla went twice the measured move of the opening range. Look at that. You don't see that often. Oh, there it is. Almost precisely as well. And hood as well. The hood made two legs. Very good. Did you get that on hood, Raymond? That was you, right?
Yeah. I took basically 80% of my position now. I just left it runner.
Nice. There you go. You guys are having a very profitable summer. I love it. Every one of you trading so well. Every day I'm saying, like, what are these entries you guys are taking? They're so aggressive. It's great. All right. We have Amazon ready for a second leg now. Watch that. We have Amazon did that opening range, breakout. That's one leg, consolidation, just printed a new low. And looks like that second leg may begin shortly. I still don't. It's a very tricky consolidation to try and enter. Very tricky. Even the breakout there was tricky. It didn't do a good consolidation. So I would struggle with the entries on this action. What else we got? The SPY. Skipping levels on the SPY today. Where is Ziad? Ziad, you in here? No, it doesn't look like. I'm wondering if we can create Avi levels that skips a level and see if we can actually build that out. Right now, I've done this on the spy where I've skipped a couple of levels, 1, 2, 3 levels. Remove this one as well. Come on. Remove. Then let's see what happens from there. Actually, we'll just use this tool and mimic the levels and go further. Okay. So there you go. Skipping an Avi level today would make perfect sense as far as price action respecting it. Again, the only entry I would have seen is here, consolidation, descending wedge, breakout. But again, I typically like to not put in a heavy size on the breakout and wait for the retest. Double bottom kind of formation right now. Cool. Fun. What else is good, guys? Anyone seeing anything else on the move? Anything worth looking at? Oh, there you go, Scott. You're waiting for the spy double bottom. There it is. Well, 1 minute chart. It's almost there. It's almost a good one. There you go. Amazon underway. It seems that way. Ooh. Who's scalping Amazon today? Let's put NVIDIA here. It'll be easier to watch. There you go, 166 on NVIDIA. Let's see what happens here. A very curious little zone. Again, there's no way I would be thinking of a short, definitely not a long either at this point. But to my eyes, shorts are out of the question. It could easily go down, but it's too risky to think of it that way. What do you got there, Roger? You're saying Apple topping out? What do you mean topping out on Apple? It's just range bound. This range that we identified earlier, it's not topping out. It's just become range bound. So let it sit and wait for a breakout of high of day. It could set up. Yeah. What do we hear? What do we have? What am I missing? What are you saying, Adrian? Apple has relative strength. Apple going up. Yeah, it doesn't look like a short. If anything, it looks like it could be consolidating for a high of day break. And that consolidation should be a little higher. Is it relatively strong? Well, yeah, I guess it looks like it. Everything else going down, Apple's not. So if you believe in relative strength, personally, I don't.
At what point do you look at NVIDIA looking at it as a long, Avi?
Well, if you're just trading a 1 minute chart, what you have so far is higher lows, which is interesting. It's holding below this level, which is not good. I mean, 166 is just a key number. It's a precise number. Let it break out through that, bounce off of that. So what it's looking like as resistance right now, it has to go through it, turn it, break through resistance, and then come and bounce off it, which would tell me now that resistance has turned into support. The buyers are there at 166 and a few pennies above. That's when I'd start really thinking the buyers are taking over. For now, it's just a battle between buyers and sellers at 166. That's purely on the 1 minute chart. Let's zoom out and see what we have on 30. 30 is, yeah, it went through 166. It's retesting from the downside. So it looks like for now it's holding 166 as resistance. Again, no entry. I needed to consolidate and all that stuff before I think about it on a 30-minute chart. So that would be probably another couple of hours. But even then, you'll be going into this choppy mess down here. So be careful with it. So let this whole battle between buyers and sellers end before you make a decision. More than likely, it's looking like the buyers will win this. But let's see. No guarantees in the market.
All right, I'm out of hood. Set a double bottom. Looking to reverse. Just broke out of that range.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Oh, good identification there. That is a decent double bottom. Raymond, you want to explain a double bottom to us? I've explained it about 1,000 times. Come on, you know the details. Come on.
Yes, I mean, if we're looking at hood, we see the first low, and then the second low, we see that being slightly higher than the previous low. And then the other confirmation was when we saw that tail left behind on the bullish candle there, or bullish hammer candle there.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of an indication that the price might break out of that range, which it just did now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, pretty much that's it. You got to make sure all that happens at a level you believe in. And it's happened after a move down. So over here, hood moved down, nice trend, got to a level you believe in, and put in a double bottom, which is the second bottom's higher than the first. And then when it prints one genuinely bullish candle, which would be this one right here, the next, the new 1 minute high would be the entry for that long. And also, yes, the double bottom, the whole double bottom itself should have room to the left. It hasn't been here in a while. So everything's in place. This is a perfect picture right here. Take a screenshot of that, man. Oh, yeah. That's the stuff in the books. So hood behaved very nicely today. We had the opening range well defined, a good breakout, retest, one leg, consolidation, second leg, reversal. I mean, that's exactly what Wyckoff would talk about. It's precision right there. All happening at levels. Well, levels you believe in.
I'm not gonna lie, I was feeling a little bit rebellious at the open on hood, so I did try to catch that 1 minute breakout, and I stopped out. And then we caught it. And we made it all back.
So how far do you think rebelliousness is going to take you in day trading?
Not far.
Well, you know what? I'm a living example of the absolute opposite. Rebelliousness takes you very far in day trading. Not in the sense of excitement, but just in the approach to trading. Just say, screw off to the whole world and trade the way you think is right. So
Yeah.
just remove all the indicators and just do this. So there's a healthy rebelliousness, call it that way. But excitement, no. Once the market starts moving, you better make sure you are not as volatile as what's on your screen. That's the first most difficult thing to figure out. That takes a long time to learn. You got to build that instinct.
I like that. I haven't heard of that one. Don't be as volatile as the market. Oof.
Yeah, you got to be bigger and better. You have to, otherwise you're not going to make it. So there you go. Here you go, hood right back up at where it found trouble earlier. So this is where you would be taking profits on that reversal and de-risking the whole position, as in take off 70 or 80%, stick it at break even. You can add more if it continues up. But the trade would be over at this point. Man, that is a very good piece of price action. If you ever want to explain everything Wyckoff, just put it right here. Opening range, breakout, retest, 2 legs, reversal. That's it. You don't need a million indicators to see this. There you go. NVIDIA looks like those buyers are winning the battle. There it is. Those higher lows were giving it away. It finally put in a bullish candle, 1006. Bouncing off of 166, looking strong. What was that, Dean? You were asking me about when do you think it's bullish? I'd say about 30 seconds ago. That would then be in the entry. Actually, we have a good example here. Look at these two. You have Amazon and hood. And Amazon as well put in a double bottom as well at a level that makes sense. But you can see the difference in the quality of the double bottoms. Big difference. The one on hood you can trust. This is not a good one. There's no gap or not enough of an arch between the bottoms. This is a nice little arch. You have the space there, little gap. All right, so these are things you want to watch out for. Some of the nice details to really nail down. And when you get those details right, your win rate goes up tremendously, and you have the ability to put on the size because you have confidence in the setup. We have another example here. Look at the SPY as well. That's a level, Avi level. Again, a double bottom, but the one on hood was a much better quality one. You can see it had the higher lows, but look at that. It had a gap, but it really didn't push up off of that second low. The sellers truly struggled there to get that higher low to continue. It's very hard to trust. That's the one you can really trust. Again, these are the nuances you want. So you don't want to just go and say, I know how to trade a double bottom. That's going to get you in trouble. Get the details right. And there's not a lot of details, really. It's not a lot. And here's the other thing. If you have 20 different indicators to tell you about your setups, now you have more details to pay attention to, which to my mind is just too complicated. And by the time you're done analyzing everything, your brain is tired and you don't have any energy to put on the trade and then manage your emotions when you're in the trade. And you think you're going to be a trader doing all that? I don't think so. I mean, I tried all that. I've done all that. That's why I suggest don't do all that. It's going to get you in trouble. There we go. NVIDIA working nicely. Where the bulls have taken over. Hood working nicely. You could have added there on hood maybe a minute ago as it broke out, bounced off the level. Even now, making sure your new break even is below the green line there, so around about 101, and you're going up for the next level up. SPY is just a mess. What else is good? What did Tesla end up doing? Went all the way down and reversed. Again, respecting measured moves. Look at that, very neatly. Now Tesla went and did the reversal. Anyone tell me, is this a setup for a reversal? Would you take this on Tesla? What happened earlier? Come on, you guys know. Don't make me give you all the answers. You know all this stuff. We talk about it all the time.
Looks good to me.
Yeah, you take that long? Around 9:55-ish, 9:54?
Yeah, I mean, I like the hammer. I mean, it's not as long as the tail I'd like, but then the level certainly adds to it. So,
okay, you like it, MJ. Raf says he likes it. Anyone else? Any opinions? Yes or no?
Personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take that.
Why not?
I just don't have enough of a confidence to enter that. Like, I don't see a double bottom. I don't see any really true change of direction formation happening, other than when we saw that higher low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there's an opinion. Good one. Raf saying nothing to the left on that. I think there's room to the left, Raf. Over here. This hammer has room to the left. It hasn't been down here in a while, around 322-ish. Daniel, you're saying the hammer with no upper wick says it all. So you're saying you'd take that, Dan? You take it because there's no upper wick. It's a perfect hammer. Okay, cool. Look at that. We got some interesting opinions in here. To me, this is a very, very dangerous setup for a long. There's no way I would take this on a reversal basis. Now, it's got everything. And let me tell you what it's got before I tell you what it doesn't have. First thing is it had a good downtrend, very firm. Second thing, it hit a level and it put in a hammer, which we like. And the hammer, the body is the tail is 3 times as big as the body and more, so that's fine. And there's room to the left at this level. Perfect. It's got everything for that reversal. Then it made the new 1 minute high. That would be your entry with the stop right below, and off you go. But I wouldn't take it. Absolutely not. There's one thing. There's just one detail here that would keep me out of this, and I see this fail more often than it works. So I wouldn't take this. Anyone know that detail?
Is it because of how fast it dropped down?
Fast is one way to perceive it. Man, you guys got to watch those webinars again. God damn it.
Avi, because of the red candle,
What about the red candle?
they're
Big,
like
big.
It's big. Yes, there you go. Dave and Gurinder got it. And yeah, even the idea of going fast, it's kind of the idea. Yes, exactly. The hammer happened right after a seriously bearish candle. Very bearish. I mean, this candle, three of them in a row even. But really, just looking at the first one here, it's massive. The only way I would take this is after this these big red candles, I'd get a one or two or three or a few small candles consolidating. And within that consolidation, this hammer is there. And it puts in that tail that's got room to the left on the tail. Then the new 1 minute high would be my reversal entry. And then I would really put on the size. Those things really work well. This one worked fine. But you do this, very often you'll stop out and then you'll wonder why reversals don't work. And it's not that reversals don't work. It's that you're not waiting for the right confirmation. And all this stuff is in the book on naked trading, as well as in pretty much every webinar I've done in the last 1 year. Take a look at those. You got to make sure you have that down move first has to stop, which is small candles, consolidation candles, little dojis and things. And then during that consolidation, you have where the sellers truly try and again push down, but the buyers just ambush it with a hammer. Boom, straight up. That's where you know the buyers are there. And then beyond that, the buyers make a new high. That's your entry or confirmation that it's ready to go in that direction. So those are the nuances on these reversals. And again, when I see that on a 30-minute chart, that's when I really put it on. So very important details. Come on, guys. I spent hours doing the webinars on this. Were you guys sleeping in every webinar? God damn. Fuck, man. You know what? I'm going to delete all the recordings too, just because you guys are lazy.
We're doing 80-20. We're catching the bare minimum.
Bare minimum. Fuck you, man. Shit. Yes, do the 80-20. That's a good point. It is a good thing. It's all 80-20. Has to be. Yeah. Now, guys, and the reason I'm very, very strict about candlestick setups is because I don't rely on anything else. There's no other indicator to give me any confirmation that it's going to go or not going to go, or tape or volume or buyers or moving averages or I don't know, whatever you like to look at. There's nothing there. This is everything. This is my trading screen. I'm only relying on candlesticks. So they better be damn perfect. Otherwise, I'm just putting risk on for no reason, right? That's what's important. That's what's important if you're going to trade like this naked trading style. At least that's the way I choose to trade, and it's made a lot more money than any other way I've ever traded. So I recommend it. Raf, am I too mean in here? Sorry. Come on, you gotta have some fun and be serious all the time.
He hasn't heard you enough.
Well, he's heard me plenty. He's actually heard me plenty. He's been in every webinar I've done in the last 3 years. He's always there helping me record it and all that stuff.
Maybe I came at the bad time.
Yes. This is the summer. Everyone's a little more relaxed and abusive in that sense. Mark, what you got? Risk on reminds of fish on. Fish on, yes. You're going fishing, catch a fish, reel it in. Daniel, what you got? On a question answer session, rapid fire questions, you got a good mood. Yes, only ask me a question when I'm in a good mood. So I'll always pretend to be in a bad mood here. There you go. Now we have plenty of Q&A stuff. We're actually scheduled for one today. Oh gosh, I gotta check on these. And Daniel, yeah, also we have the Q&A channel within our text, one of our text channels here in our Discord. You can always ask questions in there. When I see it, I'll answer, or plenty of people see it before I do usually, so you'll get answers there too. As well as, of course, in here in these live sessions, and we do other live sessions too, which I'm going to get back on track this week, as well as the various webinars that'll be ongoing. Actually going to do a lot more of those now. We'll see. And yeah, fun. Plenty of hours online through the week. Tough love, yes, Raf. Sahar, waiting for announcements. Oh, that's right, announcements. I forgot about that. Wait, watch Tesla breakout first before we do announcements. How about that? Oh, yes, Daniel, Burgundy levels, how to draw them. All right, that's another one of those questions that I prefer not to answer. Anyone want to help answer? Daniel's new in the room. Everyone welcome Daniel. And somebody please answer, what is an Avinacci level? How do you get it on? Otherwise, I'll have to repeat. You guys have heard me say it 1,000 times. What do we want to use today? Tesla? Anyone want to explain it? Because it just kind of shows me who's paying attention and who's not. Because I know you know it. Heard me say it 1,000 times, even when I was on YouTube every day. Avinacci levels all day. No volunteers? Okay, fine, I'll do it. Damn it. Fuck. You guys are terrible. Let's get all this out of the way. All right, Daniel, this one's for you. So 30-minute chart, you have the 8 a.m. candle right there on hood today. But on all charts, you have the 8 a.m. candle. What I do is I mark the low and the high of that candle. And all the other levels are at the same distance of that first 8 a.m. candle. So I have a hotkey here that does that for me. There it is. You can see it took the high and the low of that 8 a.m. candle, measured the distance, and then simply put levels at the same distance up and down on the chart, and you can go as far as you please. Does that make sense? Is that correct? Yes. Yes, Kismet, go ahead. Let's see back in here. Yes, hotkey. All right. Yes, you want the hotkey, Daniel. Anyone know where the hotkey is? At least somebody answer that one. You guys. You guys all asleep today? Like, what is
In the
going
form, I guess. And
Oh, morning, Avi.
on? There you go. Yeah, I'll get the hotkey to you. Morning, Kismet. Welcome back.
Thank you. How are you?
Good. We're just doing Q&A, as always.
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Well, I've been trading not 2 years yet. I started in a year before August. So this August going to be my 2 years. Like off and on, maybe I took like 2 months or 3 months gap in between. But my question is, last 2 months ago, when the market was very choppy, I kind of lost my confidence on my the strategy that I was working on, and I thought maybe market actually shifted some different way that I couldn't figure out, and maybe I can't do it anymore. And then now when I see the market these days, it's really like whatever you can expect from that. It's just doing the same move like before. So I'm wondering that. Like a lot of people say that market shifts gradually every time, or now I have a confidence on market, like okay, if that is the market like this, I can do it again. But I don't know if in future it's going to be changing, and because you've been like actually trading long time. So like, can you just explain me, or maybe you could figure out what is my problem, like what I'm worrying about?
Your problem is you think too much. Way too much. You've always been doing this for 2 years. You've been thinking too much. I'm telling you. I've known you
Seriously?
close to those 2 years. Yeah, you're thinking too much. See, there's nothing wrong with your strategy. Okay, and also there's nothing wrong with the market. And the market may shift and have moods, or it may not. I don't know. A lot of people love to say that, oh, it shifted. They all say that in hindsight. A lot of people are full of shit themselves. Really, the market will shift. It won't shift. Just because someone said something doesn't mean you have to believe it. That's the first thing. So don't be easily influenced, is what I'm trying to tell you. You have a strategy that works for you. Stick to it. And if the setup doesn't show itself because the market may have shifted or may have not shifted, then don't trade. Show up, look at it, don't trade. Do that every day that the setup isn't there. And sometimes you go a whole month without finding a trade. I'm kind of doing that right now. I've hardly taken one trade in a month. So just stick to that. And when your opportunities come, they come. And again, this is nothing. This is just a business of probabilities. You're just having a time where you're not getting your setups. And you can go and create ideas. The market shifted, it didn't shift. But one thing you should not do, based on somebody influencing or whatever, one thing you should not do is question yourself. You've got something that works, that you know works, and you've got some results behind you, and suddenly you're not getting setups, and then suddenly you're looking for answers, and suddenly bump into someone somewhere on YouTube said, "Oh, this thing has shifted," and now suddenly you have doubts about what you've done, and now your whole belief system is shattered. That's a
Yeah.
problem. So what I'm telling you, you think too much. Just don't.
So
leave
you
it
don't.
Leave it
So
alone.
for like 7 years or whatever you were trading, so you were changing, right? Your strategy changing, how the market moves and stuff. But I don't change. That's the problem. Like I never change.
I never changed my strategy based on the market's mood or the market shifted or it's COVID or it's whatever. I never did. I have shifted my strategy, but
Yeah,
that's
that's what I'm
based
asking.
on,
But
that's not because the market moved. It's because I'm not happy with the results or I want better results.
okay,
I'm
yeah.
finding better ways to make money or easier ways to make money. That's all. That's my reasoning. It's not because I'm paying attention to the market. I'm actually not. Mostly I'm just paying attention to myself, making sure I'm emotionally stable. I can pay attention. I can put risk on and take it off. That's all I'm paying attention to. Everything else is just noise in this world. Everything else. So keep your head clear. Otherwise, you won't be able to do this job. You've got to keep your head clear. Very, very important. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. You're welcome. Mm-hmm. Sure. Good, good. You're welcome. There you go, Daniel. You got the links in here for the hotkey. Looks like, yep, it's in our Discord channel with the script as well as the instructions on how to use the script and how to change a few things in there if you need to. There we go. Thanks, Joseph. Irfan. Yeah, you guys got that. Keep it simple. There you go. One more question. We got, you okay trading stocks? You want to go to options? Option trading is part of this group. Any recommendations? See, Daniel, in here, a lot of people in here trade a lot of different things. Options, stocks, futures, even commodity futures. There's all kinds of stuff. Swing trading. You don't have to trade options just because I do or somebody else does in this group. That's not necessary. And personally, I don't recommend options trading. Most people ask me about options. I say stay away from it for a very, very long time until you have some serious confidence in what you're doing, because things get bigger with options very fast. Bigger in a good sense and a bad sense. So you gotta be super careful. And there are some additional details to pay attention to. Again, I've done the options webinar recently, so that's relatively new. Check that one out. It's within our announcements tab in the link in there. Just look at that one. That one actually go into all the details of why not to get into options, basically. But also I talk about what to do if you're in it, or how to use them, and when to use them, and then which kind of contracts to use. But generally speaking, I say avoid it. Definitely avoid it. Mark, hallowed be thy name. Yeah, sure. Yeah. There you go. Good advice, Gurinder. Yeah, guys, you can always, anyone just pops into any of these voice channels we have any time of the day. Someone will always pop in there. I pop in there half the time when I see someone there, or when I'm awake and I got nothing to do, I'll take a look. And yeah, always doing that. All right, 10:30 just about. What I'll do now is I will shut the recording here. I think we're done with the live trading session. And let's have some fun. Stop the recording.